just to show that their owners truly believe that this team has what it takes to go far in the Land of Dawn. Let's get this started. Untitled on the blue side, facing up against Monster Vicious on the red.
It's a bit of a throwback to Untitled's Game 1 draft against Vamos 2 with similarities. You know, Rasi on the Kalea, we see the Beatrix in as well. Obviously learning from his lesson to not go for an early invade, but still, you have to keep in mind that there is always this trick with the Grog where he can delay that mid wave and then trap you underneath the tier 1 mid. This, because Rasi is still alive, you can at least still heal up Storm, get the mid priority, at least stabilize the lane, right? So that puts Untitled in a spot where at least Storm can start moving around, getting some scouting in, you can help out Keemin with the clear. So MV, they're not gonna get the cheese going.
Yeah, not gonna get the cheese going just yet. However, I love the Grok text, right? It affects every single lane. All three of the lanes are pushed up right in front of their towers. They're in a safe spot. And better yet, for the mid duo, they were able to get a huge chunk, a really, really huge chunk onto Rasi. So he hasn't been able to expose the map as often. That's why you see a slight EXP difference between Leone and as well as Rasi.
And overall, should expect the XP lane to be in favor of Siska, whereas for the gold lane, Ruff would probably be hard shoving as much as possible. They're gonna chip away some of Bondo's health pool with Rasi. And with Keemin hitting level 4 on Dangerous Grass, it's also pretty beneficial to have the Mountain Shocker, because with so many places to hide, the vision that it grants is going to really help Untitled spot out where these ambushes might be.
Both EXP laners about to hit level 4, and you can see the whole squadrons from both sides taking control of their own individual sides of the map, opening it up. At the very least, real nice stuff. They know where Siska is going to be, but Keemin, he can't just go for this crab, unfortunately. He can't do it for free.
Yeah, I like the wall from Leone as well, spotting out the potential ambush, and Rasi without the ultimate cannot just go in onto Keemin, onto Uni. He's gonna force going down, and Storm will be forced to flicker. Uni follows up with a spatial migration, stolen Violent Requiem, not gonna do anything. First blood for MV.
Played nice and slowly by Uni, and now they're looking for another option here.
If they can take down Leone, it would be great, but Leone is gonna flicker to safety just in case. Bravest Fighter is already out. Siska still holds on to the Radiant Splash onto Momo. That's the second flicker out from MV. Mountain Shocker gets used, but it is a literal 5v3. Rasi, Siska, and Keemin, they all disengage.
Yep, and all they lose is a flicker. Oh, Final Slash does land on Yishu Jin.
Looking for Keemin, and with Keemin down, Turtle is going to be guaranteed for MV. Good initiative from Momo. And I don't think Untitled wants a piece of this.
And that's why Momo's so good. Great game sense overall. He saw Keemin go in there. He wanted to guarantee this turtle, but securing that kill, even better for him. Now he's got a lead in his lane. He's about similar battle spell timings with Siska on that flicker, so the next time they go for that all-in engagement, they either will or will not have it at the same time. But Siska, he's got to be a little careful here, right? Whenever he does find an initial impression to actually go or try to predict, I don't think he's going to utilize his flicker. He has to hold it unless it's a priority target like Bundles or Ruff.
And the fact that Storm is going for the flicker instead means that he has to be even more careful with all these potential engages that MV can pull off. There's no Tsunami Slam used. Unfortunately, with Skyzet using the Bandit's Rage, they are not going to have damage for quite a while for the next 40 seconds. Well, the good thing is, the scaling for Untitled is not too bad, you know, with Beatrix, with the Yishu Shin, they are going to have some late game insurance.
I am curious to see what Uni is going to eventually build. Is he going like full magic damage? Oh, never mind. Rasi just gone. Great rotation coming in from MV's side, maintaining control of the map.
Yeah, hard to check bushes with only the Kalea. Not to mention that MV, they have tons of burst damage. They have great ways to check bushes and instantly pull off and engage. So for Untitled, that's another checklist that they need to, another box that they need to tick every time they go for these moves on the map.
So far, game's is going as good as it gets coming in from MV's side. They want to accelerate it, but it really depends on whether Untitled actually match them, right? Because if we look at the gold lane, I think that Ruff is doing a phenomenal job. He's frozen the wave as close as possibly can. They find a kill into Rasi as well. Great rotation from Uni's side, but that's not all, right? It was only the 2v1 that made sense. Now Leone has pressure and could set up a dive on the bot side of the map.
And this is what makes Grok so powerful. When you have control of the map, you can do this. You can walk into the jungle, you can set up ambushes. But a map like Dangerous Grass makes it even more threatening. Second turtle gone on by MV, and they are going to hold control. I don't know if they want to take this 4-man tectonic charge. The fight essentially ends before he even started. Siska will try though with the Raging Splash, was able to get some for his own. Skyzet flickers forward, looks for the good kill. And MV actually ends up losing 3 of their own. Good recovery from Untitled.
They didn't make the decision fast enough. They were all in position to get hit by the tectonic charge. A great setup coming in from Leone, but unfortunately, they weren't able to clean up as soon as it hit, right? Look, 50% of Storm's life just gone. They take him out first in terms of target priority, but they end up walking into the blitz. SkyZ able to just fully start clearing up that map. They got to be a little bit careful there, and especially since Ruff doesn't have the Sky Piercer just yet, there's really no need to accelerate it even after the setup.
There's one Mr. Reliable that you can always count on Untitled, is Siska. He has been making plays time and time again, and finding these opportune moments. He recovered that fight, and SkyZ was able to rally, and that allows them to take the top tier 1, and Untitled, they not only stemmed the bleeding, but they also got a bit of that go back.
And now they gotta be a little careful for the next neutral fight, right? Because we've seen how the lane phase is gone. It's going to be a reflection here in the mid game. MV taking full control, right? They are moving as a squadron. They're not taking these individual fights. The only mistake that they're making is that they tend to over-chase, especially when Ruff is not in a position where he can actually do it. He's not finished the Sky Piercer yet. He only has the Hunter Strike. And Momo gonna quickly, forcibly open up that lane for Bundle so he can get out of there.
Very unfortunate, Rasi Splicker was 10 seconds off, because I feel like that would have been a good catch. Either way, stolen Tectonic Charge, Blood Wings out for Storm. Has to constantly remind himself that without the Purify, if you want to get the counter engage off, you have to not be caught in the engage. Uni does get spotted out by Rasi as he checks that bush. Both tier 1 tops traded. And good news is that SkyZ was able to hit his item spikes and not fall behind in terms of net worth.
Still holding on and holding on strong. That's what you need to see. Ruff now already hitting his second item power spike. They're ready to go to war against Untitled. For now, I think that Untitled should not be interacting with MB. They need Yishin in a better position. Giving up this final turtle probably is going to be the play. Siska popping his ult to clear that wave. This is exactly what you want, right? Be uninteractive. Don't give MV that chance to extend this lead.
The next thing Untitled needs to do is to work with the cooldown. Without the bravest fighter, it's not going to be easy, but they will try to blow up Leone, and they do it successfully. Momo comes in, final slash, dodged by Rasi Splicker.
Good stuff coming in from everybody on Untitled, right? Chaining their CC together, waiting for the turtle boat to land as soon as the Tsunami Slam connects, preemptively dropping in the Bennett's Rage on top of it. Uni now has to be extremely careful, right? They know that they don't have the Tsunami Slam, they know they have a timing on them to actually start this fight, but as long as Siska is nearby, it could end up to be the same result, right? You find the setup and your entire backline dies, so they're gonna have to wait until this neutral pops up, the Lord finally spawns, and now MV looking to fight.
And this is a scary spot for both teams. Have wobbly track records around Lord Pits, but Untitled was able to take control of the extra bush behind the Lord Pit, so that will give them some more room to work with. Mountain Shocker used as well alongside the Conceal. Rasi not able to find any target. Doesn't have the flicker as well. He did use it to dodge the final slash earlier on.
Yeah, they got vision with the turtle boat, but now they've noticed that the rest of MV isn't exactly moving the way they want to.
Yeah, well, mid-control, Rasi finds the grab, but the Banner's Rage ends up missing. Siska now will go for full dive, hits them with the Tectonic Charge, stolen by Soem! And Untitled finds a good pickoff.
That's the game changer we were looking for. The game changer that only Storm can provide. With the Tectonic Charge hitting 4, he finds his own. All those years with RSG playing as a support when your main role is a mid laner really comes in handy when looking for these opportunities.
And that one pickoff was good enough. Goes back to the statistics we've seen. Sample size of most games that struggles on is when he doesn't get initiative. And that was what Untitled have gained themselves in the past 2 pickoffs. Now Lord on their end, Untitled looking to deal as much damage as possible to MB.
Now, back to the farming game, right? Keemin, he's going to full clear his jungle, stay fast on it, make sure as soon as he gets his ult, he's looking to pop it as soon as possible. Not only to speed up where he travels across the map, but just to make sure that MV is confirmed. That's why Yishin on Dangerous Gas, so useful to have access to vision. And now, as the top side continues to push on in, MV need to diverge their resources, and it looks like they're willing to sacrifice bot tier 2.
They're trying to defend the top 1, but with the presence of Untitled around, it looks to be very hard, so sadly, both side lanes will suffer some substantial damage. But if MV can somehow keep the mid-tier 1 up, all hope is not lost just yet. It doesn't seem to be the case. There is the conceal. Rasi straight in with a big combo to try and finish off Uni. Uni survives and escapes, but Siska was able to zone out the rest of MV's backline. They lose Rasi, but Siska will now swing with a raging slash. They look for Leone and finally gets a confirmation, but the wall blocks up Kimin and allows MV to turn it around with 3. Ruff is not done just yet, but cannot catch up to Stoem.
Close, very close fights there. It could have been 3 for the side of MLB who go down, but the counterattack is just a little too good. The fact that Uri lived for so long, and honestly, his concentrated energy is keeping him way alive, way longer than we would have expected. That's 2 turrets in trade on top of the 3 kills. Luckily, the Holy Shielding stays alive.
Quite a surprising turn of events with Untitled. Felt like they did most of the things right. Even Siska was holding back the backline, but Leone's earthen rampart with his dying breath made all the difference. Now it's still a 1.4, 1.5k goal difference between the both teams, but I feel like if you look at the state of the map, Untitled still have more control.
Yeah, they have way more control. Right now, even for Keyman, he's going for the greedy build, right? He's not going to go War Axe second item. He's going straight into the BOD. He's looking to clean up whatever SkyZ Rasi alongside with what we've seen Stoem do a lot of the Lord's work. And now, Siska, he's been so consistent, right? 4-man stuns, big damage, zoning off that backline. MV need an answer to this Lapu Lapu, and they need it right now because Momo can only do so much. And based on the build that he's going for, it's not like he can one-shot his targets either. He's mainly for setting and then truly hoping that more CC would come out from their side so he gets resets.
In fact, Momo doesn't even want to interact with Siska as possible because Siska straight up just kills him. Should expect the Oracle to be already purchased by Siska. Queen's Wings would be the next item. See Halberd out for SkyZ, who also has had a flawless game so far. 3-0-3, second Lord spawns, MV gains possession.
Yeah, they can't afford to let this Lord go through. This is the only way that they can come back into this game. MV equalize the score enough times, but now the 50-50 begins.
Siska and Storm goes in, Tectonic Charge to the backline, good retribution! Keeman gets it! SkyZ finds his 4th kill, they lose Storm in the process. Momo dashing around with the Vengeance, finished off by SkyZ, and Siska willingly throws his life. 2-for-2 trade, but a Lord for Untitled.
Dangerous. EXP alongside with mid laner missing for Untitled. Casualty report on MV. It is just Uni and Momo, Jungle, and EXP respectively. And that was a good attempt by Untitled. They knew exactly what they wanted. Hey, we chain our CC together, we zone out Uni. If we're able to kill him, that's great, but we need to get this Lord no matter what. It's so much worse being on the opposite end. Even though they have a Beatrix, but they don't want to commit their ults just to clear waves.
See the glimpses of Storms, that Roma DNA come true. Forces to engage, willing to throw his body for the greater good. Even if he doesn't hit the Tectonic Charge, it does pose a threat. And that allows Untitled to, again, push the envelope. The Lord should be quickly taken care of. I don't think Untitled could get any inhibitors, but they sure as heck have opened the entire map. On Dangerous Grass, it's a perfect map to have control of.
Oh yeah, it is equalized between both of these squadrons. MV initially had a 1.8k, wasn't able to break into the 2ks or even into the 3ks in terms of gold deficits against Untitled at this stage. But with only 450 to their name, and not a lot of time before we get to the end game scenarios, late game has already arrived and everybody is pretty stacked with items, right? Brute Force breastplates coming out, Queen's Wings, the extra bit of sustainability. Uni is just trying to survive the initial damage. Afterwards, he can heal back up, but he's definitely dependent on Leone to open things, to give him that one frame to spatial migration out of there.
I'm surprised that there's no Queen's Wings for Siska just yet. I thought that that would be what he goes for, but he did have the Radiant Armor to survive in case he gets chain controlled by Uni. Either way, now there's no more goalie for both teams. Untitled have managed to finally reel it back in and put both teams at an even state.
And while Kimin continues to scale, he's already got the Endless Battle. He's now working up to his 4th item, but with the Endless Battle, I think he can basically almost guarantee anybody who's below like 15% of their 8 max HP should be blown up in like 2 to 3 hits. Rough. Him going for the Sea Halbert himself. Both marksman players play a really important role here, and there were many comparisons being made in the early days of their career between Ruff alongside with SkyZ, and I think people have been very, very harsh towards Ruff, considering he's had a little bit of a longer career in comparison. Oh, here we go!
And then a slow retraction pulse and a full combo again, perfectly executed. executed. Siska with a last shaker towards the backline and was able to hold all of them back. 2 kills for Untitled, and that is the perfection we were seeking for.
Yep, that's the mechanics. We need to see this level of, have this expectation of mechanical prowess coming up from both of these squads if they want to win. Every bit of an advantage that MV has made now back into Untitled's side. The tug of war does not end here. But I think for MV, it's way harder. How do you get a position? Do you force this fight? You're already 2 men down. And worse yet, Uni has no means to get into steal.
Finally purchased the Winter Crown. Lord number 3 for Untitled. The best bet that MV can hope for is Uni gets a full combo with the Winter Crown to buy time. Easier said than done. I think Untitled have figured out the formula.
They just gotta make sure that SkyZ and Keemin are not standing one on top of each other, or Stoam and Keemin, or in any combination with one of the marksmen in their lineup. If they get a free 2-for-1, I think that MV can easily turn this tide. Momo has tried to stall the backline, but the spacing is really, really awkward without putting Momo in significant danger, if not trading his life.
Something that the public and even the players have agreed and resonated time and time again is this late game management, right? We have reached the stage of the game where you start to question, can Untitled close this out? So far, seems that the answer would be a big resounding yes. We see the Holy Crystal out for Bondo, so the damage profile does go up. Mountain Shocker to confirm MV's position. No flanks will come true. And with the Lord crashing in, top inhibitor is guaranteed.
Alright, so that means long lane has already been opened up. Keep in mind that the Lord will be spawning on the bottom side of the map, and the siege is looking very great.
Uh-oh. Might be a miscom because Siska committed when Rossi backed off. Siska still has the radius slash to get away, but gets crowd control. Leone comes in with a tectonic charge. Rossi flickers away. This is disengaged for Untitled. A bit of a mistake, but at least they cut the losses.
At least SkyZ was in a position with Bennett to start affecting multiple targets at once, because most people start to disrespect marksmen, seeing they can only hit one guy at a time. If we throw all 5, we might be able to trade out and maintain our distance to peel for each other. But this is not the case. With SkyZ, and especially with Dangerous Grass, right? It's hard to check these options, hard to check these angles, and sometimes you don't even see the projectile until you get hit by it, which is why we see a full disengage from MV. We cut back to the items, right? Now, it looks like he's building up to a War Axe. Not sure what Siska is going to lean into. I would have imagined the Queen Wings, like you mentioned, after you're done with the Radiant Armor. But I think at this point, Siska understands that his job is to pump out as much damage as possible. Put people below 50% and trust that your team can clean the rest.
That or even just survive, right? As long as you could hold back the backline, which he has been doing for the entire game, that's good enough. So I think if you look at front-loader damage, I would side with Untitled any time of the day with the amount of items that they've had.
Yeah, they've got a lot of damage on their side. I would like to say the same for MV, but it's so conditional, right? So many things has to go right for them. And Untitled, with their slight advantage, with the help of the Mountain Shocker, makes it difficult for MV to find these big catches in the first place.
That's to conceal. Rossi finds a target, forces out the Purify. Momo tries to counter-engage, but might end up losing his life. Leone finds a tectonic charge though. SkyZ flickers away to safety. They lose Rossi in the process. Siska again, swinging in the backline. There's 2 immos. Pop Siska will go down. Brahma finds a double kill. And we have an angle to counter-engage, so Untitled will be forced away just in time for the Lord to spawn. While his Stone's move tries to look for Leone. The damage profile not really there. Momo sweeps it back. They can only find one for Untitled, but MV have won the fight.
It's a 3-for-1. This Luminous Lord should fall into the hands of MV. We're 18 minutes into this game. This is one of the longer games that we've had within this season, as both sides refuse to back down, especially when it matters.
We did say that this is the stage of the game that we fear the most for both teams. And unless Keemin is a magician, it's going to be top. Bennett Space already committed. There's no one there to contest the Lord, and Keemin will go down. And he has all gone south for Untitled.
Could have gone for a steal, already chunked out Ruff. Ruff, very close to max stacks, but he's basically got it with how squishy a majority of the members from Untitled is going to be. Rossi has to be careful on who he targets with the Tsunami Slam. There are some times that they're not hitting.
With the crown into a Vital Requiem, with disengage from Rossi to help them out, but it's going to be a 4v5 against a Luminous Lord. Stolen Tectonic Charge and a Dawnmite's purchase by Siska. It's going to take them a while to clear out this objective, but with Rossi's presence, it's not going to be easy for MV. So the damage not as substantial as they would have wanted. fact, taking out a mid inhibitor doesn't damage Untitled as much.
They still have a second wave to work with, right? SkyZed, unfortunately, will be able to clear waves very efficiently, but that's the only person they have to worry about. Anybody else who wants to clear waves has to commit a resource, a big one, in a matter of fact.
Oh, Stolen finds another Purify out of Rough. That would have been dangerous for MV, but it's enough to keep Untitled's base intact.
God, Stone lost so much of his HP. So much off of the stolen Tectonic Charge, losing 50% with how, in this case, Valentino works. Currently, 70%. Oh, 70 stacks already. That's pretty good. He's 10 off from max stacking, but even so, still a dangerous position. He had to use the Winds of Nature. He had to use a lot of his resources, and now he won't have it for the upcoming fight.
They can find Leone once more. It will be magic. I think the last fight was the Tectonic Charge from Leone had really stopped Untitled from progressing forward with the aggression.
Now we look at the real-time victory rate, 50 to 50. Oh boy, it is dead even. Anything could happen at this point, right? Ooh, DHS purchase coming in for bundles. That's interesting. Why would you go for the DHS? You could go on for like Feather. Do they really want to get the max health damage? I don't think that matters too much. Maybe for like Siska at best.
Well, one thing is sure they can chew through Siska's health up very fast. I feel like for Siska, I mean he has the immortality, right? If you can have enough money to switch into the Winter Crown, that could make all the difference. Immo should be back up for MV side too. We saw two of them pop. Momo waiting for his, and Leone as well. They actually will pop at the same time. Storm now has his Winter Crown. Again, they lost the mid inhib, but it's so much easier to manage compared to MV's case, whereas it is the long lane. Lord number 5 now.
So many lords already, and this is the very first match as well. 21 minutes in, and no victor in sight. Same amount of resources lost, but this lord is everything for MV. How else are they going to start crashing into this base? How else are they going to have enough minions to get through SkyZed? And now they're slowly taking control over the mid bushes. They haven't checked the bottom side, but I don't think they're worried about that, knowing that Siska is coming through mid.
And it reached the time where Rossi has to make a choice. Goes for Rob. Rob holds on to the Purify. Kimin is there. And now they finally got the engage. The assassination completed. Kimin pops the Winter Crown. Momo tries to hold back the front. Kimin heals up by Rossi. Uni chases him down, but then just immortality. Rob is legendary, but finally goes down. The immortality brings him back up. It's him and Momo. Rob, can he really do this? Rossi tries to stop him. The execution is there. Max stacks from the Sky Piercer, 3 dead for this side. And it's SkyZed and Rossi for Untitled. Momo gets away, Ruff also recalls home.
Oh my goodness, Kimin could have saved his Winter Crown. He could have saved it. He didn't know that Storm was willing to flicker forward to buy him that time, and it costed him his life. SkyZed as well as Rossi still alive though. Nobody gets this Lord. It's dead even despite the score being 14 to 20 in favor of MV.
Rob playing a near perfect game.
Woof.
Saved by the bell with the immortality. The max Sky Piercer stacks was what made all the difference. 80 stacks, that's what, 13% execution threshold.
13% is so high. It's so high already. Wow, I can't believe Kimin managed to sneak all the way around. A quick mid-clear, and then using the help of the Mountain Chakra to guarantee positions, and you know their line of sight, sneaking in towards that purple buff bush. That's some dangerous grasp.
Yeah, good move from Rossi too, right? Shows himself and keeping MV distracted. Allowing Kimin to do that work. Obviously you wish if the one he found was rough, I think this game would have been over. But we go again. Another Lord Dance, same position almost for Untitled. See if they can make the same move twice. Seems like MV will now start checking the sixes. They need to manage the long lane too.
And now, as they slowly start this, you see that MV needs to manage a lot of their waves. This long lane advantage for Untitled on top of the Mountain Shocker is just making it really, really difficult for MV to guarantee this fight again by that Lord pit.
They're gonna see rough top, but Untitled is still going to hold that Lord. No need to rush it. Long lane will always be in their favor. And that's something that Untitled can always bank on. Goalie doesn't matter anymore. Untitled clears waves so much faster. The mid wave, easy to manage.
They can't seem to get behind them either, right? It's a risky call, especially with no information to work with. Uni, he just knows whether the Lord is being touched or not. Oh, Rossi, even with the Twilight Armor, he doesn't want to get bursted down by people like Uni, people like Ruff, for an example. I don't think it triggers the threshold. Maybe Ruff? does, because he has prolific roar. I'm not sure whether Uni does that much burst to trigger it.
Guys, dead. You have to back off. Try. Good dodge. Great reaction. Stolen tectonic charge. They bring Leone back. Can they finish him off in time? No, Leone terrified. The damage needs a bit more. Siska gets to the back. And the stolen tectonic charge comes through. Finally, Leone goes down. A disengage from Untitled. They've done the work. And MV, they gotta be forced to retreat.
They gotta back out once again. They noticed during that fight, where the heck did Yishin Shin go? Where did Kimin go? And look at that top wave already stacked in. Every fight is going to look like this, right? Either you start losing one, the onus is on MV to make the engagement, because the longer this goes, the better it is for Untitled.
60-second death timers is the bare minimum now whenever you go down, and that is going to give Untitled the confidence to work on this Lord after seeing Bondos up top. Final Rep Him combo is not going to do much, and Untitled, they're going to put Stone in front. Stolen Final Slash. Be careful of the execution from Skypiercer. Work on the Lord first. This guy, Rossi, will do the work of holding him back. Lord for Untitled. Uni can't get much done. And Untitled calls for retreat. MV tried to chase. That's the Winter Crown use. Siska peels for Keeman. And Untitled once more assumes control of the game.
Untitled, they've pulled it back at least. You know, I mean, both sides are trying to be as fluid as possible. Item swaps are coming back in, immortalities are coming back into play. Hopefully they have enough money for at least the Winter Crowns for these upcoming plays, because that's the big difference maker here. If you can dodge the Tectonic Charge, if you don't have the battle spell available, that's your second best option.
Bondo sold his DHS for the Winds of Nature. Probably a way better choice. Again, the person that can turn this around is going to be rough. We have the counter engage from Momo and Leone. They have been really tugging with Siska and Rossi to see who can peel better. But if you need an output, Ruff has to be the one you lean on.
Alright, here we go. Rossi
goes in with the flicker, finds the cash onto Momo. Need to blow him up. Momo gets to move away, and Rossi ends up going down. And now Momo disengaged, but gets executed. Again, Ruff, very dangerous. Skyset goes down. Ruff snipes him, and Untitled siege ends. That's a minute.
As soon as it began, it also ended just like that. They do lose one more inhibitor, but it's not much of a win for Untitled, man. SkyZ, if he only had a little bit more time, he would have got his flicker up to be able to start dodging it. Now that it's 60 seconds, every trade matters, and Stolen finds one. Oh, no!
And he missed the Tectonic Charge, Stolen! You can only buy so much time. Immortality, flicker, all used. How long can you hold on?
Oh, he could have killed everybody there.
30 seconds.
Oh, he can hold out. He can definitely hold out, right? Does he have the Mountain Shocker? No, he doesn't have the Mountain Shocker.
Yes, the Retribution.
He's got to take out the small little... Oh, but the next wave is almost there.
And this is going to be the defense of a lifetime. And even then, there is going to be another minion wave. Keeman. Oh, you came so close. And again, it's so close, yet so